see if I can find it. Okay, people are coming on, that's good. Found me. Okay, great. Evening everybody, welcome to my first live of 2022. A very, very happy new year to you all. I hope you had a very nice Christmas and New Year's celebration and you're all keeping safe and well. So I've not really been crafting at all for the last month, I guess, and it's been really strange and it's taken me a little while to get back to it, but I think I'm back. I had first coffee and card of the year today and it was most enjoyable. It's always a lovely couple of hours with a nice group of ladies. There's always space for more, and yeah, it's just really nice, really chilled, and it's done me the world of good. So lots of people are joining. Very, very nice, happy hello to you all. I'll try and keep up with comments tonight. I have a little guest in my craft room tonight in the shape of my lovely mother. Say hello, mother. There she is. We've taken Emily to a party this evening and we got stuck in traffic, so I didn't have time to take her home. So she's here with me for the evening. She's staying the night as well, so she's not really. She'd love to, but she's not really. Well done, Debbie. You made it. Lovely to have you with us. So tonight I'm going to be playing with something brand new, which I actually made this morning at Coffee and Card. So if you're at Coffee and Card this morning, you might want to zone out for 10 minutes. And if you weren't at Coffee and Card, I hope you like it. And then I'm going to make something with a little bit of a colour palette, different colour combination. So we'll see where the evening takes us. Try and add your comments if you've got any, ask questions, talk amongst yourselves, and I'll try and keep up. But let's do some crafting. So I'll just flip my camera around. Just trying to remember how to do this. It feels like forever ago that I went live. Okay, so can you see my hands? Can you see my desk? Can you see the ceiling? There we go. Right, let's see if I can do this. Oh, it's been a while, gang. It really has, isn't it? Okay, there we go. Put my light on. That might be able to see something. Excellent. Okay, so today at Coffee and Card we played with something very new and we made this card. This is using the new Boughs and Blossoms bundle that is in the new mini catalogue. So it's this lovely stamp set. They're silhouette style images, so great for stamping, and it comes with this lovely punch as well, which punches out some nice leaf shapes. Sadly, it doesn't punch out any of the images in here, but it's a great add-on. So here I've used a little bit of vellum to cut out the punch shape. So they're great for adding into your projects. As just a little extra touch. Great for layering, great for adding texture. And I went with a really different colour palette for me. I went for something very plain. And the colours that I've used are Soft Succulent, Sahara Sand, and a nice bit of Fresh Freesia. So I'll talk you through that card that we made today. Obviously, if anyone wants to join us for Coffee and Card, I'd love to have you. We meet twice a month on a Monday morning from 10:30 till 12, roughly. Depends how much chatting is done. You have a coffee, we make a card, lots of nice chat, and you go about the rest of your day. It's a great way to start the day, and it's always nice to have some new people with us as well. So this is not new, it's in the annual catalogue. It's the Stitched Greenery Die, and if I bring it closer, it can be mistaken for an embossing folder, but it is definitely a die, and it just does a little bit of stitching, and it's great for using as backgrounds, just to kind of break up the plain cardstock. And I think it's really, really pretty. So I've used that and I've stuck that down straight away. Oh, hi Nicola and Gillian in Belfast. Very nice to have you with us. We've got here a piece of white card that I'm going to do some stamping on. So I've chosen Sahara Sand, Fresh Freesia, and soft suckling, which Mum is using at the moment, so we'll leave her to it. So we're going to start by stamping this. Can't see comments on my phone for some reason. Okay, right. So I'm going to start by adding a little bit of these stamped images, and I want them to show kind of behind where I'm going to add all the extra pieces. So I'm going to do a little bit of stamping, and you want to keep your stamping quite wide because the strip we're going to use is about 3 centimetres wide, and you obviously want it to show your lovely stamping behind. So I'm just making that quite a deep section of stamping there. Okay, so I've done my fresh freezer, and when you're doing something like this, I always find it best to stamp the same image in the same colour rather than kind of mixing and matching. I tend to get really confused if I do that. I know it doesn't take much. And then we'll add in our little bit of additional stamping. So those are our 2 flowers, which I've just stamped. Oh, I have stamped them in the right colour. Good. And then now we've got some soft succulents. So I'm just going to go in with some nice leaves, and it doesn't matter if this overlaps because that's not the main feature of our card. Okay, so that is our little piece that we're going to stick on here. What set is this, please? This is Boughs and Blossoms. It's brand new. It's in the January to June mini catalogue, quite early on, I think. So this piece here, we've got some ribbon, and this ribbon here is the crinkled seam binding ribbon. It comes in white. If you didn't want white and you wanted to add, you wanted a different colour, you can do that with your stamping blends by just colouring it, leaving it to dry, and then you've got a completely different colour ribbon. So it's really handy to add into your stash. Okay. So we're going to have that about there. So we're going to turn that over and we're going to stick that down. Evening to you, Carol. Thanks for joining us. I'm just going to use a little bit of tear and tape to stick that down and hold it in place. Turn it over and then do the same with this piece. What we can now do is we can go ahead and attach that to the centre of our card front. Let's just add a little bit of wet glue there and then stick that down. Okay. Nice and straightforward so far. You're all keeping up. So now we have our little strip that we're going to put in the centre, but before we stick that down we're going to do a little bit of decorating, and because I've tied that ribbon round, if I were to tie my bow there, the bow would sit just in that panel, that white panel, and actually it would interfere with our strip that we're going to put over. So I'm going to use this punch. I'd love to tell you what it's called. Well, I don't know what it's called. It's in the annual catalogue. And what we're going to do is we're going to punch out this little long slit. That's the word, Mum. Thank you very much. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to line the edge of my cardstock up with the edge of this section here. Okay, and try and get that in the centre if I can. Not bad. So we've got that like so, and now we're going to stamp our sentiment. Okay, sentiment comes from Create with Friends, and I'm going to use the word celebrate. And we're going to stamp this directly onto our white strip. Try and get it straight if I can. Not bad. And then we can go ahead now and attach that to our card. Like so. And I'm going to attach that with some dimensionals, just to raise that. This sort of card looks really good with depth to it. You get sort of lots of different layers. Dimensionals are a fab way of achieving that. So let's pop that across the front of our card like so. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take our ribbon and we're going to thread it through, oops, this little slit. It does go quite static, this ribbon. Okay. And then what you can do is then thread that, tie that in a nice knot, and then we can tie that in a bow. There are a couple of die sets with this little slit die in. I think the Hippo and Friends dies it's in. But it's a nice little way of adding your ribbon and trim to your cards. Okay, give that a little snip like so. And there you have your ribbon sitting nicely in your card front. So what we've got to do now is we've got some pieces here that we want to layer behind. So I'm going to take a scrap of basic white and I am going to cut out some images. So we'll have one of these large flowers like so. We'll have a green leaf, and we'll have two of the other shape flowers. Okay. 1, 2. Now there isn't a die for these, and as I mentioned earlier, the punch, although it coordinates with the stamp set, it doesn't cut out any of the images. So we're just going to quickly trim around these with scissors. A little bit of fussy cutting. So just going back to Coffee and Card, each week the theme changes. We try and mix it up, so we don't always use florals. We sometimes do masculine cards, we sometimes do children's style cards. It's very varied. If you've never stamped before, it doesn't matter. I will talk you through it all. Doesn't matter if you make a mistake. If you're used to crafting on your own, obviously COVID has hit us all in different ways, that's absolutely fine. We have lots of space, and yeah, it gets you out and about, which is always nice. I can see Barbara's just joined. She's going to catch up. Lovely. Thank you, Barbara. I'm just saying that this is the card that we made for today's coffee and card session. I'm just doing a little bit of fussy cutting. And actually, these flowers aren't too bad to fussy cut. Just leaving a little white border around the edge, which I tend to do on most things when I fussy cut. And because this is a silhouette style stamp, it works quite well leaving that little border. Little trick for fussy cutting is to keep your snips nice and straight and move the card or the image that you're cutting out. Just gives you a little bit more control. Right, let's do this leaf and try not to cut the leaves off. So in the comments, if you've got access to one of the new catalogues, be it the mini catalogue or the celebration catalogue, pop in the comments what is your standout item, the one thing that jumped off the page at you and you thought, I must buy that immediately. So add that to the comments and we'll have a little chat to see which everyone's favourite is. For me, I think it was the dies that I shared with the football card yesterday. I think they're the beautiful shapes dies. Still learning what things are called. And probably the robot stamp. I do love the robot. And DSP wise, I don't know what they're called, but they go with the hexagon suite. Rainbows of happiness. Of course, Kerry, how could I forget the rainbows? Love the rainbows. Although I think for me, the papers make the rainbow set. Do love a good paper. There we go. Not bad. I managed to cut that leaf out without cutting the petals off. Woohoo! Right, so we've got all our cutout pieces now. So I'm going to bring my card back in and I am going to layer up some of these flowers in and around. Rainbows, Daffodil Delight. Oh yeah, daffodils. Did everyone do all of the fussy cutting themselves? Not everyone, Barbara, no. I was there to assist. And it gave me something to do, which is quite nice. So yeah, I'm always happy to help with fussy cutting. So we're going to stick these in just below our banner. And I'm going to arrange them so that the colours behind sort of overlap a bit. Okay, and then my little leaf I can pop in. I might put my little leaf this side. Yeah, put my leaf that side, and then we'll add another little flower down the New Horizons. See, that one's been very popular, Alison. Seen a lot of people buy and use that. Okay, so it's coming together. We need to stamp our little U. Look, someone's left one behind. I could use it, but I will stamp my own. Let's pop this down. Just cut that into a wee banner. Couldn't get the DSP. Is it not available yet? I know some things have not been available. Flowering rain boots. Yes, Sandra, love the rain boots. I'd forgotten about those. Okay. So there we have. It's getting together. It wasn't last week. Oh, I wonder when it's going to be available. If I hear anything, I will let you know, my dear. So let's bring in our punch. I've got a little bit of DSP. And we're just going to punch out a couple of our little shapes. I always struggle to get vellum out of a punch. So here is little vellum shapes. Order just arrived today. Oh, that's exciting. So let's pop these little pieces in. And again, I'm just layering them around. And then this little one can go behind here. Always time for another order. Barbara, you're a lady after my own heart. Okay, so there we have our finished card front. Do let me know what you think. Inside the card, I won't do this evening with you on camera, just because we can move on to something else. I've just added a little bit of stamping to match inside the card. So I'm going to pop that in there so I don't forget to do it. And there we have our finished card design. Do let me know what you think. If you could pick 3 colours for the same card, what would you choose? Nice to have a little colour combination chat as well. Oh, Debbie, unpacking your order as you watch. What a treat. Love that. Watching from Ohio. Wow, lovely. Thanks for watching. Happy New Year, Kim. Sorry I'm late to the party. Please don't worry at all. Life is very, very busy, isn't it? So, I'm going to play along with this week's Global Design Project, which is a colour challenge. If you're not sure what I'm talking about, if you just Google Global Design Project, it will come up. It's a website. Lots of incredible demonstrators from across the world that share with us different projects each week, all with a different theme. And this week is a colour challenge. So the 3 colours we have are Pool Party, Pale Papaya and Polished Pink. So I'm going to make a card with those 3 colours as my focus, and I think I'm going to use the same bundle. So for me, I am going to do a little bit of ink blending. Love a bit of ink blending, and it's a great way to get a very different look with your inks. So I'm going to start with Pale Papaya, okay? And I'm going to ink up my brush. Lots of nice ink. If you haven't used these yet, you'll find them in the annual catalogue. And I must say, if you're not a fan of ink blending, this is a great way to have a play without getting too messy. And it's just a different way to use the inks. I tend to find the best thing is to just go in little circles and build up your depth of colour by just keep going over until you're happy with what you've got. So there's my Pale Papaya, like so. Nice little peachy colour. It's actually my favourite ink colour, I think, this year. I might change next week, who knows. So now we've got Polished Pink, which I'm going to go in with next. Okay. Now, a little trick when you're blending is to take a post-it note. You've all got oils on your fingers. It's natural, and you wouldn't want the oils to kind of get in your card and affect it. So I'm going to attach my post-it to my hand like that, and I'm going to hold my cardstock with that post-it. It's just a nice little technique. And now I'm going to go in with my pink. Look at that blend. I always tend to get rid of the excess ink on my grid paper before I take it to my card. And just go over the border of where the 2 colours meet. Like so. Okay, and doesn't that look quite whimsy on there? Now Pool Party is obviously a very light shade, so it'll be interesting to see what sort of look we get with that. So hold that down. And these are 3 colours that I definitely wouldn't have chosen, but I think it's nice to sort of push yourself out of your comfort zone and try something a bit different every now and again. And the Global Design Project is a great way of doing that, because it just gives you a little prompt each week to just try something different. And if you're like me, I've recently lost my sort of crafty spirit. I think I put it away with the Christmas decorations. It's a great little starting point. So there you have your little ink blended piece. And don't those colours just look lovely together? But I wouldn't have thought it. Wouldn't really have thought it before I did this. So let's grab a card base. I think I need to cut one. I've got some thick white card. Put my blending brushes to one side, and I'm going to do 10.5 centimetres to cut, and then 14.9-ish to score. And this will give us a tent fold style card. Okay, so tent fold means that it just stands like a tent. The trick is with these cards is to give your crease, your score line, a really good crease, because then it stays shut, and when it stands it doesn't kind of splay out. So let's put that on there. Doesn't that look lovely? I'm very impressed with that. Let's stick that on our card. Nice, so bright. And I'm going to do a little bit of stamping with those flowers. Oh, Mum, that's pretty. Pass me that. Look at what my mum's just made. Isn't that nice? Very impressive, Mum. A star.
I'm a good teacher.
A star, well done. Okay, for those of you that weren't here at the start, my mum's here with me this evening, doing a little bit of crafting with me. So let's, oh, Gina says that's lovely. I'm going to stamp these flowers in black. I do love black and white stamping. Bev says that's beautiful.
Oh, thank you.
Thanks, Bev. Especially with a bright colour. I just think it's really pretty. The trick with these stamps is to really ink them up with the black memento. Alison said that's lovely.
Thank you.
I think Mum should do a little live.
I don't think so.
I do. Do you think I need a little guest stamping session with Mum? Black on bright colours. Yes, Tara, it's lovely, isn't it? So I'm going to keep this card very simple because I don't want to take anything away from that beautiful background. Bev said definitely.
With who?
You?
No.
Yeah. Now look at that when you put that on there. Oh, I love it. Glenda says that would be awesome to do a session with my mum. Perhaps we could do a little Mother's Day special. Yeah, I think we should do that. Should we make a card together or should we do our own thing? Oh, I don't know, Mum. Maybe we should do like a time challenge. Oh, my mind is running away with me. Yes, do it. Okay, watch this space. It does really pop, doesn't it, Gina? Those colours are so bright together. I never would have thought the pool party would kind of complement those two other colours the way it does. Card challenge, same set, different cards. Just like that, Zaina. Yeah, Mum. I don't think you can get away from this now.
Oh, no?
No. Hi, Julie. Happy New Year to you. Julie had a very good Christmas. Indeed. Julie is a fellow demonstrator friend of mine here in the UK. And she got engaged over Christmas. How amazing is that? So happy for you, Julie. Okay. So I've got my 3 flowers. And actually, I think I might stick them there. You have many witnesses, Bev said.
Have you?
She's pretending not to hear now. Okay, so let's stick that one about there. No. Let's have some dimensionals. I've seen them. Where are they? Have you stolen them, Mum? No, they're here. Auntie, the football is on. Oh, who's playing? Who's playing football tonight? I wonder. Like so. Oh no, not Man United. No, thank you. You can keep those. Right, so we've done that and we've done that. What should we do? So there is a little thank you sentiment in here, or is there a little? There's a little hello. So let's use a little hello. So this, I haven't even got the stamp out of the packet. This is how I put the stickers on my stamps. So I've peeled off the sticker from the sticker sheet, and then I'm going to take my stamp, and then I'm going to take my stamp to the sticker sheet. And then what I do is I leave that in my stamp case so that I know that all my stamps are in the case, because you know they're all there. So let's grab a block, and I've got a little scrap of white here somewhere, just like so. This is just from a scrap box. It's probably about 1 centimetre. Yeah, it's roughly 1 centimetre. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to stamp it in black. Oh, that's really bad. Just pretend you didn't see that, okay? Ta-da, that's better. Okay, so I'm going to cut this into a little banner, like so, and I'm just going to turn up the edge of this little banner. I grab, I know what will work, one of these. So let's just grab a little and then on there. Okay, so let's take our dimensionals again, which they've gone walkies again. I'm going to put that about there. I'm going to move that slightly. That's it. Like so, so you've just got a little curl on that. Now, one thing I'm going to finish this card off with is a little bit of black Stampin' Blend, okay? So when you do this, clear the decks because this will kind of spritz. I want to just add a little bit of speckling to that background. So I'm going to take my dark basic black Stampin' Blend. This technique does damage the nib, so if you don't want to, if you colour with the felt tip end of your blend, I wouldn't do this. But if, like me, you colour with the smaller end, this is fine. You're going to push against the lid and you're just going to get a little bit of speckling. Just like so. It just breaks up that big expanse of space and colour you've got behind, and finishes it off quite nicely. I'm going to add one last thing, because on a card like this I think you need a little bit of sparkle, so I'm using some of the silver trim and I'm going to tie myself a little bow, and this is quite pliable actually, this trim. Okay, I'm just going to add that down there. So I'm going to take a little glue dot, I'm going to put that about there, and then add, no, let's move that actually. corner of that banner. That's better. And I think that finishes that card off. Oh no. Just pulled the little middle bit of that thread out. Like that. So there we have our little global design project inspired card complete. And it's a colour challenge, and the colours that we used were Pool Party, Polished Pink and Pale Papaya, to create that background that I've used with blending brushes. So these little bad boys, love a blending brush. So that was the second card we made, and the first one was a little showcase of today's coffee and card design like that. So that is the Boughs and Blossoms stamp set, two very, very different looking cards. And that's me finished for the evening. So thank you so much for watching. The Boughs and Blossoms stamp set and coordinating punch are available in the mini catalogue at the moment. There's the punch. I've got the vellum stuck in it, so it's come out now. Well done. That's the tip. Just shake it. That's two products are available in the mini catalogue at the moment. Don't forget that throughout January and February, the celebration promotion is running. And that means when you spend £45 or more, you can choose an item from a little celebration catalogue, and it includes products such as this stamp set, and lots more. You can check all that out on my website, which is staceymarsh.co.uk, or head over straight away to the Stampin' Up website itself. If you have any questions, do get in touch, and I look forward to speaking to you all very, very soon. Going forward, I will be live on YouTube on a Tuesday afternoon at 1 o'clock, so do see if you can find me then. Tomorrow will be the first time I've ever done this, so please send me some wishes that that's going to go well. Let's hope so. And that's it for me. I am going to finish up now with Mum and drop Mum home, and then off to bed for me. So enjoy the rest of your day, whatever you're doing, wherever you are in the world, and I do hope to speak to you all very soon. Thanks so much for joining me. Bye everyone.